Hi everyone, welcome to Live at 12:05. My name is Emmy. I'm a docent here at the Alouette County Museum. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So today I want to talk to you guys about a business that used to be on Main Street called Simpson's Pharmacy. This was a super influential business here on Main Street. It was open for more than 100 years. They closed in 2019, so some of us may remember Simpson's Pharmacy. It opened in 1914 by a man named Frank Simpson. It was located at 221 Main Street, which is where Pearl's Boutique is now. Aubrey Cahoon started working at Simpson's Pharmacy in 1961, and he became a partial business owner with a 20% stake in the company. After the passing of the owner, Frank Simpson, he became the sole owner of Simpson's Pharmacy along with his wife, Dolores. Aubrey died in the early 2000s, and Dolores decided to sell the business, and she sold it to a man named Danny Walls. Danny Walls had the business running for a couple more years until 2019, when unfortunately they had to close the doors forever. But Danny Walls generously donated some items to us here at the museum so that we can continue to tell the story of Simpson's Pharmacy and all other businesses on Main Street. So I want to show you a couple of the things that we have. So first, we've got a collection of pharmaceutical spatulas. So these would be used for handling product, could be powders, could be pills. They were just a good tool for, moving things around and making your job easier. We've got quite an array of sizes and shapes. So as you can see, this one is more flat and this one's got some tapered sides. So we've got all different ones here, but my personal favorite is this one because it's got a secret little hook, kind of like a pocket knife, where it opens up, and this hook would be used for opening sealed containers or pulling cotton out of pill bottles. So I just think that is so handy, and it was probably a pharmacist's best friend there. Next, I'm going to talk about this graduated cylinder, which is probably the largest graduated cylinder I have ever seen. It is a 500 milliliter cylinder, and what I love about this object is that you can tell from the numbers, they're not quite perfect, which means that they were hand painted on. So someone very, very carefully with a tiny little paintbrush painted these graduations on there. So that is a very interesting object that we have. And one of the most iconic symbols of pharmaceuticals is the mortar and pestle. So you've got two parts here. You've got your mortar and your pestle, and you would use this to grind things down into a fine powder. So for example, you might have pills that you're grinding into a powder. You would place them in here, take the pestle, grind away. And what's interesting about this is that it is glass. You might have seen other mortar and pestles used in other applications, but they're not glass. Having glass in pharmaceuticals is really important because it's not reactive to most things. So you can put lots of different chemicals in glass and it won't react. And also it's clear, so you can see through it and see what you're doing. And it's really important in chemistry and pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. So that's your fun fact of the day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned a little something, and we'll see you next week.